Fontaine is about to launch, and with it comes a lot of things that Aloy mains are going to be very excited for, because Aloy is essentially going to be getting a lot of buffs. There's going to be a lot of things that are coming that allow Aloy players to easily build her and her team, so let's get into it. We have a few sections in this video. We of course have the weapons, the new artifacts, the Strongbox, and of course new characters. So without further ado, let's start off with some new weapons. There are 3 new bows that are coming into the game with Fontaine. The one that I'm most excited to try with Aloy is of course going to be Liddy's 5-star signature bow. It's called the First Great Magic. It has the same base stats as Thundering Pulse, but it also increases attack based entirely on your team composition. This means you don't need to go through a whole song and dance in order to maintain stacks, unlike Thundering Pulse. Now keep in mind this is a 48% maximum attack at R1, so I think I'm going to swap an attack cup with a cryo cup, and I'll basically have more stats. This weapon also used to have a base attack buff, but it was actually changed to a charge attack damage buff. This basically makes this weapon more suited for like ADS Loys and I guess Ganyu players as well, because this is more to the niche of Linny. But either way, I'm going to be comparing it with Thundering Pulse in a Frost Loy normal attack team. Might also consider comparing both of these weapons with Aqua Simulacra. We also have the Battle Pass bow called the Scion of the Blazing Sun. This is a high base attack, low crit rate weapon. Not exactly ideal. But at the eventual R5, you also get some additional damage percent, which could also make your charge shots really good. But again, it's charge shot based, so that's going to be another ADS Loy weapon. And we also have a new craftable bow called the Song of Stillness. Now at R5, the idea is that if you get healed, you get a 32% just overall damage buff, which is going to be pretty interesting for just general purpose Aloy teams. I don't think I'm going to be building this myself, mainly because I don't have a whole lot of bow billets on hand. So I might not get around to looking into that, but I'm sure there are going to be Aloy players out there who do have a lot of bow billets and are looking for a pretty decent free-to-play option. I think this might be the one for you. Alright, moving on, we have new artifacts. So we have 2 new artifact sets coming in 4.0, the Marechaussee Hunter and the Golden Troop. Now first things first, let's get this out of the way. The Golden Troop is not going to be useful on Aloy, because the Golden Troop requires you to basically be off-field, and it really focuses on your skill damage. Aloy doesn't usually focus on her bomblets or bomb damage, and she's usually an on-field character, not an off-field character. That being said, I could potentially see some sort of hyper niche way of doing tons of damage with her bomblets under Shenhe's tap skill Quill. You might want to look into that if you're interested, but generally speaking, it's not going to be something for her. This could very well be something for a future character like Fossilors. I suspect this might be her best in slot set. Now, we also have the Marechaussee Hunter, which should be absolutely incredible for Aloy, because this is a set that provides you with a lot of crit rate as long as your health changes. Your health can change by taking damage or by being healed. There is one team that could really capitalize on this, and that's Burnloy, because when you stay close to a target that is burning, you take damage. So that is one way that you can try and lower your health without lowering your health too much by actively taking damage. And then when you raise your health by healing with, I don't know, Medic Nahida, then you should be able to get stacks off Marechaussee Hunter and thus get a lot of extra crit rate, thus essentially making your build kind of look like a Freezeloy Blizzard Strayer build, but, you know, with slightly less crit rate. So it could be interesting. It could be very, very interesting. So yeah, I suspect this might be a Burnloy best in slot set. I'm definitely going to be farming this to see how far I can go with this. And then of course we have the big ticket item, the Artifact Strongbox. We are getting a lot of new artifact sets put into the Strongbox so that you can actually just recycle your artifacts into new artifacts. But this, of course, comes with some direct buffs and indirect buffs to Aloy. We'll start off with the direct buffs. So we are getting Shimenawas in the Strongbox, which of course is a good set for a general purpose Aloy that likes normal attacks, but not necessarily in a free setting. And also this is the artifact set used by, in my estimation, the strongest general purpose Aloy in the world, being Levermore's 4-piece Shimenawa Aloy build. Then there's also the Echo set, which should also be a good normal attack set for Aloy, but keep in mind this apparently has something to do with ping, so I'll give that a try. But otherwise, it's also an indirect viable buff for Shenhe. The thing about Shenhe is that I personally use 2-piece attack set as opposed to using Noblesse, because of the way that I tend to have Shenhe position in my Aloy rotations. noblesse just doesn't last long enough. So having just that extra normal attack, we discovered on the stream to just be far more beneficial than trying to somehow fit noblesse oblige in there somehow, especially in Spiral Abyss when everyone starts with all of their energy. Now we also have the emblem set, which of course is very valuable just all round, but it's also really good for a rapid fire nuclear player. So if you're one of those kinds of Aloy mains, now is the time to be stocking up on artifacts so that you can burn it on the EOSF set. But then on top of that, this is also an indirect buff for Aloy via Yelan for the Freeze-Loy variant that involves Yelan, my version of Freeze-Loy. We also have the Pale Flame set on the Strongbox now, which of course is going to be really good for the 3 Aloy mains among the 25 Aloy mains who are physical Aloy mains, because ironically enough, Pale Flame is actually really good for physical Aloy because you only need your skill to hit twice in order to get the maximum stack, and that includes bomb and bomblet damage. It's not cast your skill twice, it's your skill hits twice. That's the deal. So that's why Pale Flame is actually going to be really good for the physical Aloy mains out there. And then finally, we have Vermilion and Echoes. If you're building 2-piece, or like I said, if you're building Shenhe, this is pretty much the way to go. We also have some additional indirect buffs coming for Aloy in the form of the Husk of Opulent Dream set that is going to be really good for the Freeze and Frostloy variants using Yunjin. That also includes the mega DPS, mega normal attacks, Shenhe and Yunjin version of Frostloy. We also have the Clam set coming for anyone who wants to use healers in their Freeze-Loy or Frostloy variants, namely Kokomi, Diona, potentially Chi-Chi, but I'm not a huge fan of that particular version. And we also have the Tenacity set coming into the Strongbox, which of course is going to be really good for anyone who brings Layla into their Frostloy team, or Zhongli as well, into their Frostloy team, because not only is this going to be an attack buff for you, Aloy, but it's also going to be an attack buff if you bring along Shenhe, because that's going to buff Shenhe's quills, which basically makes this a really potent choice. And finally, we have some new characters. Now, let's just get this out of the way. I don't think HMC is going to be all that useful for Freeze-Loy teams. This old bubble tends to keep moving along, which is going to prevent additional freezing. The skill is probably going to be way too on-field to be useful. I'll have a look at it anyway, but I'm not feeling it myself. And then we also have Linny, who's I don't think going to be all that useful because he's also an on-fielder for a Meltloy team. I don't think that's going to be the play. And there's also Fremine. You could potentially play Fremine in a Frostloy team, but he also seems really on-fielding, so maybe not. And then finally, we have Lynette. Now, Lynette seems very interesting, because Lynette could potentially be like a budget cast, and we are getting her for free. So everyone who just logs in and gets up to a certain adventure rank will essentially have a budget cast. From what I hear, she can also group Aloy and Claire's bomblets, so that should be really useful. She's also a VV user, and like I said, she's free. I also expect there's going to be some future characters coming that are going to be very useful for Aloy teams, namely Fossil Lords. So that's probably when you're going to be using that Golden Troop set. But yeah, that's all the buffs that are basically going to be coming to Aloy in 4.0. It's going to be really exciting to see more people maybe look into different kind of Aloy teams. I'm already starting to build up Shimenawa's Aloy build. It's not there yet, so it's being really difficult trying to find some background footage of Shimenawa's Aloy, especially like a Burnloy team, especially in Spiral Abyss. That's kind of not working for me right now. I just don't think my Shimenawa's Aloy build is strong enough to kind of deal with all of that jazz. But either way, now that we have all of these things available, I'm sure there's going to be potentially something new that pops up that I haven't thought about yet, in which case, hey, let me know how you go with that. Anyway, let me know about all of this in the comments below. How do you feel about Aloy when Fontaine drops? Let me know in the comments. Otherwise, hope you guys enjoyed this. If you liked this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more Genshin Impact action, and until next time, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Mind the side effects. Taking a turn for the better.
Got something for ya. Cryo Incarnate! Take your true form! This is a new one.